We're live. Hey, everybody. Have you ever felt alone or that maybe something's missing in your life? Are you happy with the life that you're living right now? Are you waking up with joy and excitement? Maybe you had a desire for something bigger in your life. Well, guess what? Today I have Ammar on the show, and he is the host of Denmark Real. And I'm going to give you a quick little background about him, but his story is that he's all about connecting human beings through inspiring stories, and that's how we transform our consciousness. Super excited to jump into that subject. But you need to know a little bit about why he's so passionate about this. Well, he grew up in Iraq and he moved around a lot, and there was no real roots. He was like on a roller coaster going up and down. First of all, can you imagine living in a country of war all the time? So, how did he mentally survive? How did he get past all these obstacles with no school? Think of relationships. When there's a war going on, that person could be gone tomorrow. How do you handle that? So, from this, he is very passionate about helping people through stories that we can all relate to, whether we're in this war zone or not. So I want to thank you, Ammar. I know you're a super busy guy, but you're passionate about this, and we love getting this message out to the world. So thank you for popping on in here and sharing your wealth of knowledge.
Thank you, Brenni. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I want to ask you a question then. So what led you to have this different point of view instead of go into the, life is so bad, I'm in war, what's going on? How did you ever think that you could get something positive out of such a negative situation?
When we moved to Denmark from Iraq, it was tough to get into the society to connect with people. I was only 12 years old, so I wasn't that old.
You were only 12.
Yeah.
So at a 12-year-old and there's war going on and you're missing your friends and you're not going to school, how did you get to the point where you could see a positive aspect?
I think I was a visionary. I always dreamt about something better.
Sounds like the mind had something to do with it. Yeah? So that's all about mindset. So let's talk a little bit about your show and who are you interviewing and how can this impact the world? Because that's what this is all about. This is a movement to help the world be a better place. That's what podcasters do.
It is. So the show is basically interviewing people to have a talk with them about their experience in life, what they have been gone through, so I could bring that story to everybody to relate to. So basically, I'm asking questions that leads the conversation in a certain way to bring the intellectual property that everybody have. So the guest could be what I just have is a bodybuilder, but I thought that he will be talk about bodybuilding, but he didn't. He was talking about mindset and transformation and the human consciousness. It was totally different than what I expected. So I was.
That's a good surprise for sure.
It was, yes, it was.
Well, Ammar, anything in life, right, starts with your mind. That's how you're going to transform. If you don't shift your mind, you're going to be in the same situation. I'm wondering how, in a country of war, how do the parents help their kids deal with this? I mean, because in learned behavior, we're in America, we're learning how to cook or do laundry, and you guys are surviving mentally, physically, and emotionally surviving. How did your parents, is that part of the stories that you're telling, that those that are leading you through these challenges in your country?
The stories I was told when we were a kid was a bit different. It was always about protecting us from some danger that could happen. So it was always watch out for this, watch out for that. You shouldn't be out later than when you hear this sound, you should be inside. So it was preparing to protect us from danger around us all the time, actually.
But at the same time, then that's putting you in a place of fear, right? You're
Yeah,
kind of in that survival thing all the time.
and I am still in that.
And
16 years later, I'm still in that. It is
and
not
there's
something. Yeah.
and it's a lot of people. It's kind of people call it PTSD maybe, but it's in many different things. It's countries, that have war. It's people that have been, abused mentally, physically. That's your body out of alignment.
Yeah, it is to reconnect the body, to take all these guards down
Right.
instead of doing like this all the time. Preparing for fight all the time is really tiring. Because I have always to look out for something that is not here that could maybe lead to some danger, but
Mm.
there's nothing actually. It is actually just being aware all the time. And if you use all your energy on being aware, you are not aware.
Right. So you're in that fight flight thing all the
Yeah.
time. So your
Yeah.
adrenaline's up all the time. So that has a
Mm.
huge impact on your body, let alone your mind. How do you feel your podcast and your energy is going to help? Especially, I know you're passionate about young men, making sure that they don't lose their dreams because of listening to other people. Because at a point, that your parents did the best they could, and they were
Indeed.
helping you survive,
Yeah.
but hopefully times are changing now. And how are you going to help those youth?
For me, it was about finding myself, because that was the most important thing I discovered. By becoming the self I am, that means being honest in who you are. If you are sensitive, go with that. Don't try to be something not something strong or tough. If you are sensitive, be sensitive like I am. If you are strong, be strong, because sensitivity is misunderstood. I misunderstood it myself. Sensitivity means that you can feel every vibration around you. That means that every single move, I notice it. That means I'm actually not less but stronger, because I can feel everything around me. That is a different aspect. That is a different perspective to see it. So if I talk with an 18 years old girl or boy, or boy, and talk about sensitivity, they will reject it totally, that they are not sensitive or they don't want to be sensitive. And
They see it as a weakness,
yes,
like
and
men shouldn't cry.
I did that too. I saw it
Right.
as something that I shouldn't be, but I used all my energy on something I shouldn't be rather than just be.
Okay, that's kind of deep. So let's get into that just a little bit. You're talking about energy, and you only have so much energy, and wherever you put your energy is what you're going to get. So if you're going to put your energy in fear of the past, you're creating a future of fear. Is that what you're saying?
You're creating always a now, and the now will always be fear.
Because that's
And
what you're thinking about,
and
right?
if you eat a cake right now, tomorrow you are that person plus a cake.
Chocolate cake, chocolate, dark chocolate.
So the idea is you become what you think about. Like you right now become something in the future. Think about is also right now. So you become what you eat, you become what you consume. And that is something that it took me a couple of years to understand what that sentence means. You become what you think about. What you eat, you will become that. What you think, you will become that. That means if you cannot change your mind right now, you have to change what you are looking at. It is so simple.
It's so simple, but it seems so complex because we throw this thing in called emotions, right?
Because simple things are also not that easy to understand, because they are so simple.
Right.
And the emotions, we have this triangle between the emotions and the thoughts and the actions, I think. And it's about, sometimes is the it is actually it is a thought that creates some emotion that could lead you to action. and then another time it is the emotions that lead you to a thought that makes you take an action or not take an action. So it's yeah.
You this is one of the hardest things it was for me to admit, but once I figured it out, life really changes because people are in such denial. They're like, I did not manifest this life. Who in the world would want this? Well, what would you say to them? Because you already know they might have done it subconsciously, but do you believe that they created that life even though they don't want it?
Everything you are everything you have thought once or was a subject to. Like if you watch Games of Thrones all day long, you will become that.
That's one of the things that's happening in the world of technology, that these kids are playing video games and they're so realistic now, and your brain until you're 6 is just a sponge. So when they're giving them these games, is that like just like them being in war because their brain doesn't know the difference? So could a kid, let's say in America, be watching these video games and it could have the same impact on their mind as living in a country of war?
Because it could, because your conscious mind can control some of it, and you can tell yourself that this is just a game, but your subconscious mind will take everything that it is put to it. And also with these VR glasses they have on right
Yeah.
now, you cannot separate the real from the
So when you feel like you're falling off a cliff, your body really feels like you're falling off a cliff. It's that real.
experience it.
So your mind
So it
only
produces
knows what you're telling it. Is that what you're saying?
it produces the same hormones,
Wow.
and you live in that, and that is the thing that is dangerous about all of that. And it is the same with a lot of experience. So actually, when I wake up in the morning, I could be dead tired, but I could breathe in and smile and imagine the thing that I want to have or do. So if it is energy for today, I imagine that I'm smiling, I'm happy, and I feel that I'm happy. It is because I create these hormones, and it's so amazing when you discover that and you know how to be it.
So it sounds like what you're saying is once you can step back and be the observer and be aware of your emotions, you're already one step up the ladder of joy, happiness, manifestation, and all that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
because meditation is observing, is like watching what is happening, because there is a happening right now. You don't need to control anything. You could just watch it. If you watch everything around you, the bird flies, the grass grows, and everything is there. It is a constant flux. You should just leave it there and be. But we don't do that. We want to control everything to steer it in the direction we want to, and that could lead to a lot of mistakes.
So, what can you say to people that do a lot of work? Like they listen to lots of helpful personal development information, but they just really don't get into meditation. And then they say that stuff doesn't work. Can you go a little deeper on meditation and why it's important and how easy it can be versus someone thinking, I can't get that out of my head. I can't get that out of my head. Because that's what they do. And so they're at resistance before they even start. So you and I know they're not going to have a shift, and then they're going to blame other people.
Precisely, precisely, because what you resist will persist. That means what you put your energy to will continue. So if you're trying to quit smoking, you shouldn't, and I say you shouldn't. It wouldn't be a good idea to have stickers all over the place and telling your friends and everybody that you stopped. It is like you have to trick yourself. You have
Yeah.
to do it quietly, so that so that so that demon inside of you doesn't know that you what your plans are. It's like that. And it's so funny because when I try to quit something, I just do it by not doing it. That
Yeah.
means I create something else that is more important to me.
Yeah,
So I
you're gonna be triggering it, right? Whether it's through your eyes, your smells, even music. You'll think, oh, I was at a bar smoking a cigarette with Susie or whatever. So is it all the senses that bring this to awareness?
It is. It is because every time you see a person that you took a smoke with, you remember it. Every time you hear a sound or a smell, it will shift you back to that memory, and it will make that memory in your mind fresh again and new again.
It almost sounds like you say that it takes like a snapshot, a photo of that moment, and then that's in like a little computer in your brain. Is that kind of what's going on? Because how do you pull that real quick?
Sorry, I didn't understand what you meant with.
Okay, so it when we have an experience, and you said like we kind of take a picture of it, and then it gets stored in your brain. So anything can trigger that, and it's easy to pull up that negative thing, and because you're thinking about it and putting it in the forefront of your mind. I mean, I'm just getting this as you're talking to it. I'm
Because
seeing all this happening.
because your subconscious mind, no, your conscious mind catches around 7 till 10, 9, 10 things at a time, and you are maybe aware of them, but actually you are on recording mode all the time. You're recording everything around you, and that
That's
is a
a scary
subconscious mind.
thought, Ammar.
That is a scary thought, but your subconscious mind
Right.
is capturing everything that is happening.
So it's your video recorder just going
It is
on
just on.
automatic recording all the time.
Yes, and it can, and you can fake produce that too. You can fake an experience. I could make you close your eyes and fake an experience where you feel, and I could make you produce these endorphins and hormones in your body, and you become happy, and you can taste the food and smell the roses and all that, like you have been there, though you have never been there. So
He can
our
make you cry. Hashtag Ammar can make you cry.
good,
It's a good cry though. It's a cry of opening up and releasing
yeah.
and being aware of things. So yeah, he's not a mean person. I'll make you cry. That's more like me. Ammar and I have a very good time together because we both like to laugh a lot and have a good time. I do want to discuss your message and your mission just a little bit, if you don't care. You're delivering through Denmark Real. That's the name of his podcast. I suggest everybody go out there, listen to it, give him a 5-star, give him a review, and share it out. It's not just for people that are challenged in Iraq or in a country of war. It's for anybody having war with their mind and their spirit, and they're not living life to the fullest. That's really what his show's about. And he is excellent at getting guests to tell stories because we all can relate to stories. So let's talk about, you said, and I'm going to quote this: death, destruction, and the reap of everything the weak have from the big countries in the name of an imaginary thread that was self-made, the killing of the poor and robbing of all their goods, to transform the humans to see that we are a lot more connected than we ever knew. We are one cell, and everything that happens inside the cell will affect the whole world. That's kind of a really big thing. You're saying that no matter what anybody does, we're all connected, and everybody's going to be influenced by it. So if I have a negative thought, that's not a good thing if I stay there because it's impacting the world.
Because every pattern that happens inside that cell, inside your body, is the same pattern that is happening outside in a bigger scale. And we
So
see there is a molecule and there's electrons and all that. And it's the same with the Earth and the moon and the sun. Everything is the same pattern. And everything that happens inside our sphere here in Earth affects the other.
is that where they're talking like a reflection, the mirror thing where um it's reflected as above, so below type thing?
Hmm.
Because what
It,
happens here happens there.
it is more that if a fly vibrates with its wings, it sends waves, and these waves will affect and will create, or by being sensitive, everything is a receiver and a sender. So
Mhm.
it's a fly can send vibrations, another thing could capture these vibrations, and it could affect it.
Because we live in a world of energy. We're just floating on this grid of illusion.
Like Nikola Tesla, he says, if you want to understand the universe, you have to think in vibrations, frequency, and energy.
Love that guy. Mentor, mentor, mentor. Everything I could get on Tesla. I so love him. So let's talk about how your mission and all this is impacting your students and impacting the world. You have students that you work with. How are you helping them to understand the thoughts? I mean, are you going to schools? I know, you the barbershop thing is like one of the coolest ever. I mean, I would be doing lives all the time, cutting hair, talking to people, because they know everything going on in your life. And that, I think, opened your heart up to help people, because you probably heard a lot of really sad stories of people sitting in the chairs, because we kind of dump on our hairdressers, right?
I love it because I ask for it. So
Because you're passionate about changing the world and helping people, right?
I'm doing it for in every haircut.
So before they sit down, you have the intention that you want them to open up, and then you'll be able to help them.
Um, I think about who that person is. So if it is a person between the age of, let's say, 12 and 30, I could pitch them something without pitching them something. It is about asking them. Actually, I ask a lot. I try to dig deeper. So it could be a guy that is frustrated that he doesn't know what to do with his life,
Mm,
and I could ask, what do you think the most of when you are not stressed? What makes you smile? And they could say, I like to play games, and I could dig deeper to that, because by looking at his patterns and what he does or doesn't do. I had a guy today. He talked about being a control freak, and
mm.
we talked about a lot of stuff. And
So
I
he was a control freak. So he was in control of nothing then, because you can't control anything but yourself, right? So he must have been driving himself absolutely nuts.
it was more about it was more about using that control mindset, use it positively,
Mm,
because he didn't know what makes him passionate. So I was thinking, okay, but how about that control thing you mentioned earlier in the conversation? And he said, yes, I like it. I was like, okay, you smiled there. I saw that. So could we maybe use that for something? So I like to observe a lot of things. So I could be working with, and I remember a lot also. I could be working in CIA, something like that, because I can use my ability to investigate. I could, because I try to figure out steps ahead all the time because of the PTSD.
I would have your Hummer ready with everything you needed in it, food, passports, money. I would have all the logistical stuff set up. So we would make a very good team. But otherwise, you know me, I'm the big picture girl. That's what I like hanging out with you, because you are more, you listen very well, and then you can get down into the deep details, where I get downloads on a big vision. So I love hanging with you, because you like kind of do the stuff I don't like to do, and I still get the benefit. So thanks, Ammar, for letting me use you to
That's
be
good.
a better person.
I try to impact, so why not? So
So,
it is basically about digging deeper into the person, try
mhm.
to figure out what his abilities are, i- the abilities that he's not conscious about. That is the idea, and try to get them, make him aware of that, what he is. Try to dig deeper in who we are, by questioning him.
so
Why do you like football? Why do you like watching football, or why do you like this and that?
so anybody who's having any kind of challenge, does that just really mean that their body and mind is telling them that they are not in alignment with their truth? Because if you're in alignment with the truth of you and being who you are, then you're not lacking anything. Is that what you're saying?
Most of the time we will be stuck, it wouldn't be like you are going through life easily. You will be vibrating between being happy sometime and be a bit sad, and it is like that. It is a wave, up and down, like you are showing me
I
right there.
had a wave yesterday,
So
baby,
yes,
and I'm like, what is going on? I'd be like super stoked, super excited, and then all of a sudden I would just be like frustrated or sad. And I don't know if it's because the more you do the work and the more you work on your mind that you're releasing things.
It is tough.
I Is that it? Because I'm just looking at, I'm happy that I'm aware of it.
It is tough because when you become aware about of it, you can change something. You can do something about it. But usually, yes, when you align with the frequency that is there in your body, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, God, I don't care.
We don't
You
care.
be, you become whole, and when you become whole, you can see that the force inside of you wants to work all the time.
Hmm.
So even if I'm tired or I'm hungry, I don't care. I would just want to work on that project all day long. And that is the thing, to find your purpose, to find who you are, and your full potential is something amazing.
And you know, when you're in your alignment, when you're messaging people and you know it's like 2 in the morning their time, and then they get even with you the next day and they message you at 2 in the morning, but you're so excited about the project, you get up and respond anyway. Yeah, we have a little tired eyes going on. But it's so exciting when you find your purpose and passion and
Mhm.
that you can be the true you. I have never liked that sentence, fake it till you make it. What do you think about that sentence?
You
I
can
know they have good intentions with it. People will say, fake it till you make it, like fake you're a millionaire until you are a millionaire.
you will get tired. You will get sometimes you will run out of fake personalities, fake money, because you are not able to sustain it that long.
Is
I
it
I use
possible?
it. I
Is it
use it when
possible?
I yeah.
I'm just curious, is it possible you could actually reprogram yourself into being a different person and like maybe almost have a split personality? If you kept trying to be this fake person, could it possibly like start reprogramming you into that person? Because you said our thoughts create our reality. So if we're always thinking I've got to be acting like a millionaire because I think I'm going to be a millionaire, do I start becoming this alter ego person? That sounds like that would be more of a mess.
It will be a mess because
I know a coach.
people will address you. People will address you with that personality you projected to them as a millionaire, and they expect from you certain things. So that will make you suffocate because you will be tired of being that person all the time, something you are not. And we are not, when you are not yourself, deep down inside, the real self know that. It knows that
Yeah.
you are just playing a role, just taking a mask, a persona. So it's, you will be tired of that. And you will hopefully wake up and come back to yourself, but that will sometimes will be too late because you wasted valuable time of your life that you will never get.
Man, that's the truth. And so many people are trying to be somebody they're not because they're listening to other people. And you can feel it in your body when you're out of alignment. That gut feeling where you just feel like cringing in, your energy does one of two things. It's either expanding or contracting. And that's why we have this thing called a body with emotions, because not all of us are that sharp that we can even figure out what's going on. But when you get, physically sick or mental breakdowns, this is like the universe hitting you over the head and saying, hello, wake up. And that's what we're doing as podcasters. We're trying to help people wake up and stay awake, not just wake up because they go to sleep right away again. And that community, like we are having so much fun as a community. The energy is just fantastic. All of us, our visions got a whole lot bigger when we started hanging out together. And how can we work together and how can we shift and keep the mind shifted? So, is there any last words you would love to leave our tribe with? That because if they follow me, they must follow you. We're in this alignment. We just do things different. He's calm.
Find yourself.
Find
You have to find yourself. Otherwise, you will lose.
yourself.
If you those who don't find themselves tend to lose themselves. When you find yourself, you will be closer to being a good person. Because when you find yourself, you are not wasting your life on drugs or being a criminal. Because when you don't find yourself, you begin to act irrational. and you are not productive to anyone, neither yourself or anyone. So find yourself by observing yourself, not by running around. It is like looking for your keys. When do you find them?
When you're not looking for them, when you just stop
When
and
you give
step
up.
back and say, I wonder where they are. Oh, they're in my hands.
When you give up, you
Surrender.
yes, when you give up, you will see that. You will see that everything is here, everything is happening. So try to observe why you are doing the things you are doing and watch yourself.
So recently, in one of my classes I was in, it was as simple as the universe is always flowing everything to you. And is it really as simple as just allowing the goodness and everything we want to come? And like you said, that's through your thoughts.
Yes, and also you will meet the people that you need to meet.
Right.
That is the
Isn't that
beauty of it.
so fun and cool?
That
The
is
right
the
people show up.
that is the beauty of it. And I heard it from a podcast, self help, from the 50s. I was listening to when I was taking this personal development journey, and and when I listened to it from couple of months ago, I was like, he was so right. Every person I needed to meet is here in front of me. They came to me.
But people are so busy in their mind trying to find what's going on that they don't even see what's right in front of them. Any
Precisely.
last any last words to leave our tribe with today to end on a happy note, a smiling note, and go out and find yourself?
Fake it to make it, but not on money. Fake it.
You really
Fake
can't
a
fake
smile.
that. Okay, you can't fake you have money when you're with a whole
No.
bunch of people and you go out and they say you get the bill because you're the millionaire and you're like,
But you can fake a smile in the morning
yeah.
to vibrate another signal, send another frequency out,
I
and
don't
that
think that's
frequency.
fake though. I think that's you being the true you. So you say, look in the mirror and smile.
Precisely, because you vibrate something out, and that vibration will hit another person and will reflect back. So you create your reality. You don't wait for it. If you wait, you will waste your life. Trust me.
Omar, what's really funny is when you're talking about this is I can just hear my cold calling coach when I was in the corporate world saying, when you get on the phone, smile and smile with your eyes because they're going to feel it. It's going to go right through the phone. And we're all like, whatever. Now that I've studied, the mind and understanding quantum physics and quantum mechanics and the portal of energy, like how we connected before the call, because it works and it's real. It's just energy. So, everybody, put a smile on your face. And Ammar said, go look in the mirror tonight before you go to bed. Say how great you are, and in the morning. And if all you can do is smile, even if it's a fake smile, you're going to start releasing the hormones of happiness, right? So,
Yes.
everybody, we appreciate you. I'm Brenni Larson, and this is a World of Energy podcast. Thanks for showing up. Please like it, share it, and write an awesome review. To the next podcast. We change the world one podcast at a time.
Thank you.